Hey, this is Jason with the DVE store. There we go. I'm here at the North Seattle Church of Christ. We're doing phase one of some upgrades. The first phase is improving their wireless audio and installing a wireless translation system, since they have a lot of members of the congregation that speak another language. We're also going to swap out the projector. The one they've got is 15, 16 plus years old, so we're going to put a new projector up there. In fact, you can see the ladder we've got up right there. There's the old projector still up there. I haven't even gone up the ladder yet. We're going to go up there and see what kind of wiring we have in place. We might actually have to run some new cabling through the ceiling. So it's going to be an interesting job. Here's some of the goodies that we're going to be using to do this upgrade. We've got a new Sony Projector in here. We're going to be putting that up on the ceiling. We're upgrading their wireless system, as I mentioned. We're going to use these headsets, the Hs2 Rhodes. Definitely going to improve the sound. We've got, this is a Geffen, an HDMI extender we're going to be using to feed the projector. So from PowerPoint to projector, we're going to be using that. We've got our Sennheiser rack mount wireless receivers here. We've got as much Cat 6 cable as we'll need for running the projector feed. And this is part of our Williams Sound wireless translation system. And this is the belt pack charging tray. You can see our basic setup that we're going to be doing here. They already have a mixer, so we're going to utilize that. We're going to have a couple of brand new wireless systems. So here's the basic layout of what we're putting together. Here's the rack, so we're going to be tearing out some of this old stuff and replacing it with the new stuff. And there's our Mackie that we're going to be using to put all this together, control all of our sources. And they've got a nice little control room back here, as you can see. They've got a little window, you can see right out into the chapel. So first item of business though, go up that ladder and see what we've got. So I'm up here on the ladder, checking out the wiring. We've got an RGB feed from the computer at this point. This projector is pre-HDMI. And obviously we've got power up here, which is great. That's kind of necessary. We've got just this basic like 2-wire cable that's up here for whatever reason. So yeah, it looks like we'll need to run some Cat 6 up here, an access panel here. We need to get that all the way down to there. We've got some VGA cable that goes up into the ceiling there and runs through the ceiling, comes down this wall here at the far end, and then comes up right through this box into the pulpit here. So the computer can feed the projector. So it looks like we need to go up into the ceiling to see what we can see as far as running cables. This is fun stuff. We're here in the control room, and looks like we get to go down there now.
Exploring underneath. Yes. So let's just see. A good thing is there's no water yet.
Yet?
Yeah.
Here we are underneath the floor of the chapel. We're trying to get to the far wall so we can see what kind of access we have to run some Cat 6. I'm basically clearing out cobwebs with my face as I go here. So we just got out from under the under the chapel floor. Kind of dirty down there. No rats. That was a plus. So here's the wireless mic that they've been using. It's kind of old. Check that out. I think we can do a little better than that. Sweet, got a tape deck. So we can pull out this receiver, this tape deck. Anyway, we'll make some space up there. Get the Sennheiser receivers put in, as well as the transmitter for the translation system. So we'll get working on that. It's all going to run through the Mackie here. It's going to feel good to pull out this this tape deck. Oh my word. Oh, time for some new technology here. We're just going to make a pile of all the old equipment we're not going to be using anymore. It's always fun opening up new boxes of stuff. There we go. We've got our little body pack transmitter, G3. And we got a rack mount receiver. Sweet. Here's the rack adapter. So we got the two Sennheiser receivers put together, and the rack ear is put on. And now we get to mount it into the rack, like so. I've got the Rode Hs2 Headset Mic, and I've got it connected to my Sennheiser G3 transmitter. The benefit of having this this headset mic is that you get the microphone just much closer to your mouth than a lapel mic that's going to be you know, our lav mic is going to be down here somewhere, so you can get a stronger signal and help eliminate any kind of feedback issues that you might be getting, you know, up on stage. By having a good strong signal here, you don't have to, you know, crank it up as much. Back on the board, always helps to have the microphone as close to the source of the audio as possible, and these headset mics really do that well. For some reason Rode calls these things pink. That's the color on the package. It says pink, but I don't know, those Australians, strange. Good mics though. Testing 1 2 3. Check 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 check. So I'm getting a signal coming in, and here's the Mackie over here. So it's just coming in on channel 1, and I am getting a signal. We've made some good progress here. I've got the Mackie basically set up here. You can see I've got some temporary labels put together here. Everything's working except for the cry room. For some reason my feed to the cry room is not working yet, so I need to fix that. We've got our Williams sound translation system. If I could focus on that. We've got that installed. We've got audio coming into that, and that transmits out to all of these belt packs here, which are charging right now, and so the listeners will listen in with these belt packs and these headsets. So the translator will be using this one. The preacher's going to be on this one, and then everything's all mixed appropriately in here, and I think it's going to work out really well. And we've got 2 runs of Cat 6. One is coming under the floor, up from the pulpit, and the other one is coming from the ceiling up to where the projector's at. And you can see the pulpit there, the projector up there. If we go in there, we can see that we've got the cable coming out of the ceiling there. So today we're going to replace that projector with the new one, and we're going to terminate all the ends on the Cat 6 cable and install a HDMI to Cat 6 converter, so we can run an HDMI signal all the way from the pulpit to the projector. Got my crimping tool. I've also got my test equipment just to test the cable, make sure we have a good connection after we do the termination. And I've got the pinout that I'll be using here. You want to make sure you do them all exactly the same way, otherwise you're going to have problems. First termination done. I'm up at the pulpit, and we've got the other end of the run here. As you can see, we've got a lot of extra Cat 6, so we're just gonna chop it off about here, terminate it, leave a little extra, but not that much. Now that we've got this end terminated, we're going to test it out by plugging this guy into here. like so. Don't forget to turn it on. Got the other end plugged in. We're going to hit test. You can see it basically runs through all 8 wires. Gives you a green light if you're good. It's looking good. Take my tools up there and terminate and then test that cable. Originally we thought we were going to have to run an external cable channel across the ceiling to get down to the AV room, but as they got up here and explored, they discovered a conduit, so they were able to use that, which is great. This end's now terminated. We've got it plugged into our tester. I'm going to turn it on. Run down to the other end and make sure it's good. We are looking good. Back up at the pulpit here, and let's see, to feed the old projector they were using this VGA output, Thunderbolt to VGA to this splitter. We're gonna get rid of all the VGA stuff. Hallelujah! And we're gonna use this Thunderbolt to HDMI adapter there, and that's gonna feed one of these bad boys. Let's see, we've got a sender and a receiver. The sender has the power input right there, so it's pretty cool. So you give this one power, and then at the other end, the receiving end, you don't need any power because it injects it into the Cat 6. We're going to test the first half of the signal path with the projector on the ground, and then once everything looks good there, we'll go ahead and hang it, connect everything, and hopefully our signal goes all the way. Coming out of Thunderbolt here to HDMI, around a few times into our Geffen HDMI extender, and the output of that is the Cat 6, which goes under the floor of the chapel all the way back to the AV room. We've got the other end of our Cat 6 run here, so we're going to plug that into the receiver. Oh, look at that, we're getting power. It's beautiful. A beautiful thing. Now we've got the HDMI cable that came included with the Geffen system. So we'll run that from here to the projector and see what happens. The cool thing about the cable that they include is that it's actually a locking HDMI cable. So you'll see on the end here, you've got a place for this to screw in, so it locks in. It's not going to go anywhere. Now on the other end, on the Sony Projector, you can see we've got a couple of screws here. We can take those out and we can put these little guys in there. will allow us to lock the other end right into the projector. That's not going anywhere. Got it all connected for our ground test. And look at this. We've got Mac desktop. Oh yeah. That was a little dicey getting that down. I'm really glad I had this little handle here, because I essentially held it by 2 fingers with one hand while I climbed down the ladder. So, fortunately, the new one is about half the size and weight. I've got the projector mount installed at the top of the projector. And this is going to screw right onto the existing pole that held the last projector. And then basically this just slides together like so. These tighten down, holds everything together. Got some built-in adjustment here for tilt. So I've got the projector mounted here. As you can see, the image is dialed in, matching the screen. I've got a safety cable wrapped around the mount here, so if for some reason this whole system failed, the projector would hang by here and not fall on somebody, so it's always a good thing. And got my power cable, my HDMI cable zip tied, and here's our Geffen HDMI extender, our Cat 6 coming in to feed it. Remember, that's originating down at the pulpit there. So we've just got a coupler connecting the 2 runs. So the run from the pulpit to the AV room is coupled to the run from the AV room to the projector. So during phase 2, when we add video in, we'll end up changing this, but for now that's going to complete our signal path. To finish things off nicely, I've added some labels. Makes everything very clear, eliminates confusion with the volunteers that may be running the soundboard. Looks good. This is the end of phase 1, and stick around for phase 2, where we introduce video.